We have a pretty waterfall right here in front of us. And then just over here are the remains of that foundry. You can see the stack right there. So we'll cruise up there and check that out now. I've got the ruins of the foundry behind me, but I had to show you this view of the area we just explored because it's really cool seeing it from this perspective. You can see this whole cliff face is just covered in openings to the mine or the section of the mine that we just explored. And if you look higher up, you see terraces and things like that all through there. So this is a great view of where we just were. And the buildings we saw when we first came in are up there, just to give you a sense of perspective as to where you are. And then, like I said, the ruins of the foundry are here directly behind me. There's a view of the stack right there, and I'm assuming that I'm where this furnace was, because you can see this opening here that would allow the hot gases and such to escape, and this runs directly up into the stack. So I'm assuming that that would vent up and out and away from the furnace. So that's why I think that this is where I'm standing was the furnace. And see more of the building down here. Not a lot left of any of these, because there might have been a doorway there, and then a doorway or something there too. But that's about it for what's left of the foundry. The first portal I went to is around the side there, and you can see the rocks that the adit was driven into there. And I wanted to be sure about this waste rock here. I thought it might be connected to the one over there, but I wanted to be 100% certain. And I'm very glad I checked, because just behind me here is a beautiful looking adit. That's right, another one. All hard rock. Let's go check it out. Looks mostly dry. There's a little bit of mud here, but it's mostly dry. It's always appreciated. A little bit of mud I just stepped in, but definitely worth it. And looks like it keeps going for a ways. Nice colors in here too. Given how close we are to the other workings, I'll bet that this might tie in somewhere, possibly behind some of those collapsed sections. Maybe farther back here it ties in. And it looks like we have a winze here on the right, dropping down a ways. You know what? You know what? This is the top of that stope that we looked up from a while ago. When we were back in that section, you remember we looked up that huge stope and I speculated that it might be accessible behind collapsed workings? Well, this is it. This is the top. That is really cool to be able to connect that. It's not often that you can tie in all the different pieces of a mine, especially one that has some collapses in it like this one. That is really cool. See, there's a timber here I'm standing on the edge of. And this keeps going, so we will too. Okay, we got something going off. Oh, and a bat. Something, okay, just a dead end right here. I was making a big production about something going off on the left, and this is all it is. Looks like there might be some indentations from rail in here, I can't really tell. Still going. Still bats. Kind of muddy and slippery back here. See a little bit of ground fall here, but nothing too significant. Okay, definitely a bit muddier and wet up here. Again, looks like there's something going off to the left. And again, it's barely worth mentioning. And adit keeps running off that way. There's some nasty looking water here, but I'm going to try and go across on these rocks to get up there. Okay, I made it across the rocks. Still going. Smells like bats in here, and I think I hear bats up ahead. Show you some of the colors. And looks like there might be some messiness up there in terms of collapses and timbers and things like that. A little pocket to the left there. You might call it a crosscut, but it's a very short crosscut, if you want to call it a crosscut. Bunch of timbers down right here. This is potentially tricky here. Little section cleared out here. And there's a fair amount of material down here, so I can see why they timbered it as they did here. You see the bat flying around an open cavity up there, and then there is something back there. It's hard to tell what it is, but there is something back there. I am gonna have to scramble back there, obviously, and see what it is. Just give you another quick look at all these timbers here, which as you can see are pretty rotted. This looks like it might take both hands to scramble over there, so I'm going to turn the camera off and rejoin you when I can see what's there. I was filming from there a moment ago, and I've made my way under the timbers, and see there's a fair amount of material that came down on them, but they are still holding it up, at least for a little bit longer. And then behind me, there's some more timbers here. And the mine, or excuse me, the adit, just dead ends right there. So that is it for this drift. I am across the canyon from the foundry now. There's a stack, of course. And I'm checking out some of those rock terraces and such that we saw. And there's something up there. I saw the opening to an adit there. And what I've discovered right here is where that gallery we checked out earlier opens up to the outside world. Down there in the blackness is where we were exploring earlier. So that's kind of interesting. And you can see some of the terraces they made. The rock there and there, for example. That's like a waterfall over there. So I think to get to that one that I spotted over here, you sort of see that rock terrace way up there? That's where I need to get to. So I think I'm actually going to have to go straight up and over and then drop down to it. So that's taking me a while, but I will pick up over there. I'm still making my way up there, but I've run across something here. So let's go see what this adit here is all about. So I'm on a waste rock here in front that I'm tripping over. Okay, there's nothing here, but it goes off to the left here. It looks like it keeps going, actually. Seems like there is some daylight here on the left. Yes, there is. You see it just barely opens up to the outside world there. And a fair amount of stuff is washed down here. And continuing this way, there's a drift going here and here and also here. So let's do the right hand rule and start here. There's I think we might be the top of a stope right now. I'm not sure yet. There's a pocket that cleared out there. That could also be, it's just hard to tell. I can't tell if that's the top of some sort of collapse or what. It doesn't really make sense though, so I suspect that's just where they backfilled some stuff. Looking down at sort of a trench right now that runs off and drops down over there. It looks like I can run up through the top of it here. There's a pillar here. So that just stops there. And then, let's see. That is full of water right there. I don't know if that's something that's plugged up or if that kept going or what. You can see they took out some material there. And here's another look at that trench down there. It's kind of a strange setup. I'm not sure how this worked. And it runs back there and dead ends there. So they must have been dropping something down through there. That might be the other side of one of those collapses that we saw. That's my best guess right now. Okay, that's a section with the big trench that we just explored. Now I'll head down this middle one. Looks like there might be a winze on the right. Or an ore pass. Probably an ore pass. And then this just dead ends right here. So looking down this ore pass, obviously I'm going to have to go down there. And this is dry, so not slippery, so I'm just going to keep the camera on actually. And you can come down here with me, so if I fall, it'll be on camera for you guys to laugh at. Oh, there's a rat. Multiple rats running right towards me. Little rats. Some people wouldn't like this, but they seem more curious than anything else. Yeah, why don't you go down that way, and I will mind my own business here, and we go into a big pool of water right there. I think that's water. Let me just toss a rock down there to double check. While I was looking for a rock, a rat just ran across that. So that is bone dry actually. Unfortunately, it's pinched off right there, and it was just big enough for the rats to get through, but it's only about a foot high, and I don't really feel like crawling through that with the rats and stuff down there anyway. So I guess enough material has flowed down here when it rains to just close that off. I would bet that runs in the backside of one of the collapses we saw going off the gallery. Alright, the two sections we just explored are here and here respectively, and so now we've got this one left. Something dug out the floor right there. Don't know if that's a person or an animal. What do we have back here? Looks like we got a little bat right there. And this keeps going. I thought this might be a dead end, but it keeps going. See a peg stuck in the wall right there. Nice and dry in this section. I like that. There's a bucket here. That's more modern, obviously. And here we are at the end. So I will keep heading up the hill to reach that portal that we saw in the distance, and if we see something else along the way, of course we'll stop and check it out. Okay, we're still trying to get to this upper portal, which is sort of hidden behind the tree right there, and you see the foundry across the way, so so you understand where we are. And it's not easy scrambling up these cliffs, I assure you. And the reason I turned the camera on is because directly to my right, I see an opening here, which I have not looked into yet. And looks like it drops down, and looks like it might keep going, so I'll head on down there and check it out. Okay, I just dropped in from up there, made my way down here, and it just dead ends right there. So I would guess that there are not bountiful mineral riches awaiting the miners here. So I will scramble back out of here and keep working my way up to the upper portal. I have finally made it to the upper portal right there. Here's a view of the waste rock pile, and quite a lot more tumbled down the hill there. There's the second to last section we just went in. The foundry down there. I can hear some goats and their bells down there somewhere. And it wouldn't, given how hard it was to get up here, it wouldn't surprise me in the least if this upper portal is just a complete bust. It goes back 20 feet in dead ends or something, but we'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky. Little pocket they cleared out right there. I don't know if they were chasing something or meant that as a sump or what. And looking into the adit. Don't even tell me that's the end right there. Oh, okay, good. Goes to the left. Oh, what a joke. Alright, all that effort for this. Wow. You can see a lot of drill marks back here. But that's not worth scrambling all the way up here for, I assure you. That's it. All of that for this. There's that joke of an adit I just finished exploring. And according to what I read, there might be another adit or two downstream. So I think I might go hang out with the goats and see if they will show me where there might be another adit or two down there. I'm not 100% on that, but what I read suggested there might be another adit or two down there. So that's worth checking out. So I will join you somewhere down there. Research I did suggested that there might be another adit or two downstream from that section we already explored, but I've gone downstream quite a ways and haven't come across anything, so I think I'm going to wrap it up here. Plus I'm getting kind of tired of scrambling over stuff like this with all the heavy, awkward mine exploring gear. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mine. It's definitely in a pretty setting down the canyon like this, so I'll see you guys in the next mine.